to show you some fun animation tricks to use in Canva to help spice up your social media posts that you share on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you choose to share with your audience. Now, this is what they're going to look like. So let's first take a look at what they are, and then I'll show you how to create them. Okay, so to create these, I first just came into a video. I did create a design and I chose a portrait video is what I was working with. So feed ad, video, portrait. That's what this size is. To create this animation where the text is moving and the new product file is pulsing, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to choose my background, and I did a yellow and then I added a texture. So I just came up to elements here and I'm going to search texture, and I don't want videos. I actually want just these graphics. And I chose this first one here that they had for texture right here. And I like this one because if I click up here, I can change the color, and I changed it to white. I did make it a little bit transparent just so it wasn't overpowering, and I covered my whole page. Then I went ahead and I added some text. You can add whatever text you want. I am going to go ahead and use my brand font text, and I just said new product coming soon. And then I made sure that it just went across one line like this. And I'm going to do an effect on here called background. And I'm going to change the background to white. And then I don't want the edges rounded, so I'm going to take the roundness down to 0. Now I'm going to copy this. And then I am going to paste it here. And I'm going to do it 3 or 4 times so that I have a nice long line when I add my animation. So I'm going to do this. We can probably take this down a little bit. But it's going to kind of come off the page a little bit. And I want it to be long off the page so when the animation moves, it keeps scrolling. I'm going to add a little tilt here. I'm going to go ahead and copy, paste, maybe tilt it this way, and then put one in the middle here. Next, I'm going to add a photo of me. So I'm going to come down to a file of photos I have. And the one I chose was this one. Now I'm going to go ahead and edit my photo. And I like to do either magic grab or background remover. Doesn't matter which one you use in this instance. And then I am going to add a little shadow. I like to add shadows. I think it adds a little more depth. You can play around with the shadow and you can change the angle. You can change the intensity, really whatever you want. Then I'm going to layer here and bring to front. We'll keep this one in the back. And then next I'm going to add an image of my product that's coming soon. The cover. So let's find it here in my uploads on Canva. Right there. I'm going to add it here in the middle. Now, the last thing you do is you add some animation. So I'm going to click on this text. I'm going to click animate. And the one we're going to use is drift. And you can choose which way you drift and the intensity of it. So how fast it is, how slow it is, whatever you want. I'm going to go kind of just here in the middle, and I'm going to make this one drift to the right. Then this one, I'm going to effects, and I'm going, or not effect, sorry, animate. We're going to have it drift as well, but I'm going to have it drift the other way. And then the bottom one, we're going to drift, and we're going to have it do right as well. Awesome. We're going to leave it there. And then if you want, you can animate the cover. And I added a pulse, and I did kind of a slow pulse. Bring it down a little bit. Now, when we play this animation, you can see we have the pulsing and we have the scrolling text. Isn't that so fun? So now let's see how this next one works here. If we were to do the moving teach with the video crayons in the background, and you can use any video you want, but I chose crayons because that kind of brought out the teach theme in my mind. So what I did is I chose the background. I did it simple. I just did black. Then I went to elements and I searched for letter frames. And I want ones that actually have a frame in them. And I'm actually not going to look for graphics. I'm going to come down to frames, see all, and we're going to do letter frames. And then if you choose one or see one that you like, I like this bold one. I just did view more by the artist of that. And I did letter frames. And I searched within that same creator so that they were all the same. So all the letters I pulled up were the same. And then I chose my letters, T-E-A, and then C and H. Highlight them all, kind of make them all the same size here, and put them on the page wherever you want. I did a kind of diagonal look here. And it looks like I may have to, make them all a little bit smaller so they fit. There are so many different letter designs in Canva. You could have a lot of fun with that. And you could even angle the letters if you want. I don't think I want to. So I'm just going to make them a tad bit smaller so that they all fit here. Gotta do it one more time. Okay. Now, the next thing I did is I added a white frame along each letter just to kind of help it stand out with this background. So I clicked the border here and I gave it a weight of a 10. And then I also changed the color of the border to white. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to every single letter here and change the border to white. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add a video inside each of these letters. So I, again, went to elements and I scrolled down to video and I just searched crayons and I found a video that I liked and I inserted that into each frame like this. But if you play the video here, you're going to see that the video, it's like the same in each one, which looks kind of cool, but I want to actually make it look like it's all one video. So I'm going to go ahead and double click here, and I'm going to make the video the same size as my frame here. Then it's going to look like it's scrolling through each letter and it's all one video. And if I make it the exact same size, it should hit the crayons where they would be in the video, if that makes sense. Let's go to C. We're going to just make sure we expand this to be the same size as our image here. Make it the width the same. And then I did add an animation to each letter. I just did a rise and I did each one individually so it looked like they were coming up one after another. And then when we play this video, you can see that it looks like it's all from one video rather than each video being the same, which I think is a really unique thing to show. And you could do this with any word. You could do it with your own product behind in the letters. This could be a really fun effect to share with your audience on social media. So go ahead and try these effects, see how they work for you, and let me know if you have any other good ideas on ways to use these animations down in the comments below.